when you unveil your, so you guys were sacrificial lambs.
How does that make you feel?
I'm not gonna lie, we're like, how lame would we look if we do the state of the county and no one's here? Hold on, let me,
It's a word to you if we don't leave.
we could always just take away the 10 grand, right? Hold on, let me just make sure. Is Sandy on? I'm just gonna,
It is 9:30. This is the Board of County Commissioners. And today I am joined, Daryl Banks, joined by Cliff Mears, Tony Vero, County Commissioners, Stacy Crawl, our clerk, Andrew Keller, our county administrator. And Lee, why don't you tell everybody, Lee, why don't you introduce yourself and go right across the room?
I'm Lee Tassler, president of Destination Mansfield, Richland County.
Jessica Gribben, Chamber and Economic Development in Shelby.
Greg Timberlake, interim CEO, Chamber and Economic Development.
And also here is Matt Hill from IT. And on the press, Carl Hunnell is here from The Source. And Al is here on the News Journal, not here, but he's on. Well, the first thing we want to do today is to introduce to you our state of the county. The video is kind of a second installment of Richland County videos. This will give you a state of where we're at the end of 2023. Something we plan to do in the future to let people know, let the citizens know what we're doing, and also to keep everybody informed, and hopefully they'll appreciate what's been going on. And
hey, Daryl,
yes,
I think maybe Lee, this would be a good opportunity to help with a little publicity on where we are with the larger branding video. Could you provide an update and release date? Carl had asked that.
You always ask that. I always give them the same answer, later in the spring.
What does that mean later in the spring?
We don't have exact target date yet. No, we've seen the rough draft of it. It's going through edits right now.
That's all you got.
All I got, all it is.
we did note that you said this spring. Did note that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's see the
Also,
video.
I want to thank our guests who we asked to come because they're in the same line of work and they're partnering with us in the branding video. And as I said before we went live, we just didn't want to release a state of the county video to an empty boardroom. So thank you all for coming. I mean, that's like let's have the branding partners come. So it looks like they're interested. So thank you for coming. And just so you know, Andrew will put out a press release. And we've already begun to formulate, as Daryl said, the 2024 video. We included the sheriff this year because a major focus has been investment on safety. Now we have the clerk of courts and the courtroom project going on. So next year we plan to, well, I don't think Robinson and Nalmhoff are that good looking, but we'll throw them in a video, we think, and Denise Rule for sure. We don't want this to just be commissioner focused. We want to truly highlight the county. We're stealing the strategy from Delaware, although we shouldn't say steal on the record. We're emulating. And again, we may even do an engineer video that'll highlight some of the road and bridges projects. So we're mindful of the taxpayer dollars, but a lot of governments have marketing departments. We do not. So if we're going to spend money on such items, we try to minimize those costs, right?
Yes, it's correct.
And Sandy did join online.
I sent her the link. So,
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, showtime.
Looking back at 2023, it really was a successful year for Richland County. Yet I remind myself that the county's success is not an automatic outcome. It's actually the direct result of a few simple but firm priorities. First, we balanced the budget. Local government shows respect to taxpayers when we lead by example and live within our means. Second, we actively invest in county infrastructure. By being intentional about maintenance today, we ensure the county assets will still be in good shape tomorrow, ready to invite private investment and economic growth into the county. And lastly, we continue to build partnerships all throughout the county, promoting a culture of lean and responsive local government.
Richland County ended 2023 with our best financial rating ever. We did so by doing what the taxpayers demanded us to do, which was to pass a balanced budget, have some money in the bank, pay off debt, invest their money in the right places. We kept that high level of commitment while our primary revenue, sales tax, remains low. When you spend money in Richland County, you do so by paying one of the lowest sales taxes in the state of Ohio.
One of our larger projects is relocating the county clerk of court's office to accommodate the clerk's critical space needs. We are also building out conference space and a fourth courtroom that will accelerate the Court of Common Pleas docket. I am energized by the cooperative investment between the city, the county, and the Richland County Foundation that is bringing the B&O Bike Trail connector into reality. This 10-foot wide, 1.25 mile concrete path will connect the B&O Bike Trail into the core of the Mansfield community via a brand new tunnel underneath Trimble Road, reserved just for bicyclists and pedestrians.
The commitment to keeping our community safe, maintaining the facilities we have, and planning for the future remains substantial.
The partnership between the Sheriff's Office and the Richland County Board of Commissioners brought to reality the highest levels of training and public safety services. The virtual law enforcement simulator is a cutting-edge technology that uses real-world scenarios to train Sheriff's Office personnel in de-escalation and use of force mitigation.
Revitalizing and growing our communities also remained a major focus in 2023.
We are aggressively expanding sewer capacity and reliability in the I-71 and State Route 97 corridor through replaced lines and lift stations. This project is absolutely critical to support the planned $22 million YMCA soccer complex, which is scheduled to break ground mid-2024.
The $500,000 commitment to Shelby's Black Fork Commons will continue downtown Shelby. The goal of the plaza is to beckon residents and visitors to the heart of downtown, where they can spend quality time, support local businesses, and encourage further investment.
We also were happy to financially support the Richland County Fair Board in replacing 3 large roofs at the fairgrounds in 2023. Our county fair is a very important thread in the fabric of our community. It brings together families, farmers, and businesses all over the county and beyond. The partnership between the county commissioners, the sheriff's office, the state of Ohio, and the village of Lucas and Monroe Township allowed the construction of a new 303-foot communications tower. Not only did this tower provide a greatly needed improvement to public safety communications, but we also partnered with Verizon to provide wireless voice and data to the Lucas community.
Bringing the Westinghouse site back to life was definitely a high priority. Demolition on the nearly 14-acre site continued through 2023. It should be done by the end of 2024. The revitalization of what was once our county's largest employer is a sign that Richland County is on the upswing.
All in all, I couldn't be more pleased with our progress in 2023, and we continue to be laser focused on being the best stewards we can be for the future of Richland County.
Nice.
Well, what did you think?
Awesome.
Nicely done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a nice job out there. And
Sandy's.
Trail.
Makes you want to move here, doesn't it?
Yes.
I told Carl too, we couldn't get every single project, but we truly tried to spread out, particularly with our ARPA dollars, evenly spread out throughout the county. So we also had the water project all the way up in the northern part of the county in Shiloh. Well, not ARPA, Cliff did a great job with Maryland on the road that was shut down, or the bridge with the railroad. So we truly have investments from Belleville to Shelby to the Mansfield Bike Trail to Westinghouse, all the way up to Shiloh. So we truly tried to touch dollars.
From Shelby.
Lucas, the Marks Tower.
Bell Tower is huge for that community. You can actually text and call your kids from school, which has
Yeah.
never happened before.
Yeah, it was for urgency purposes, but it was great to get Lucas online to self-service.
I had someone stop me at the bank yesterday. It was one of those, because usually I only hear when you tick people off, which is a lot. someone stopped to thank me for the Lucas cell equipment. He said the same thing. For the first time ever, I can be in and around Lucas and I have cell coverage. So
Where are you publicizing this?
check your email. Andrew Keller's on top of it. You'll probably see a press release right now. So that's it really, but
Yeah.
We encourage folks to share it on their social media platforms and spread the word. Richland County's a happening place.
On behalf of the branding committee, we're happy that you're totally adopting the new brand, pushing it further. So thank you.
we still have, we're gonna have to come up with a creative way on who's releasing the major branding video though. I know you're working behind the scenes against me, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I got moles.
He's working again.
I got moles because I hear you're going around going, Vero thinks they're releasing and he doesn't know. So
Andy said the chamber will push out the video today.
thank you. Maybe we'll come up with a unique way to do this. So look for the branding. We appreciate you coming to make it look like we had an audience today, by the way.
Matt Hill is helping us with getting it posted to the front of our main landing page on our website. We're still. That's on it.
When I made it private, I couldn't grab the link, so. So that's the original.
I'm gonna put, I also created, I think you guys saw that, I also created a Google Drive just for redundancy purposes. I sent that out today. Sandy was on that I'll drop the video in on as well, in case people need to grab it. So,
Yep, so the,
okay.
All right.
Question.
All right.
Any questions, Carl?
Later this spring. No, I don't.
Al, you have any questions?
We know before June 21.
Yes,
That's
I don't have
right.
Any questions? Thank you. My four fingers don't want to connect with the touch screen again, as usual.
okay, no problem, Al. Okay, we're gonna move on to other things on the agenda. You're welcome to stay or take off, whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, cancer for. Text to Jay and email to Ashley. Wayne, do you remember what the city set aside for branding and ARPA real quick? Yeah, so, okay.
40 some. Okay, if we can get a motion to certify the record of proceedings for February 8th.
So moved.
I have a couple of quick things here, mostly typos. Left column. Far bottom, 0.27.10. Fourth line from the bottom. Steve reviewed the commissioners, approached him. I think that Steve replied. The commissioners approached him with the opportunity. So just a typo there. And then on next page, 0.44.5, also in the same relative place, bottom of the first column. Carl commented it is currently a two-way stop. I think it's a two-way stop. And the line below that, it says a stoplight or a roundabout. So, couple typos.
And then are you making the motion as amended?
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Mears.
Okay, can we approve the requisitions?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Yes. The maintenance department has would like to sell the auto scrubbers that we've had, we're not using, and they're only valued at $600, and Superintendent Josh Hicks would like to have permission to sell them.
What's an auto scrubber?
Scrubber.
Or
Not to scrub your car.
No.
Auto scrubber, it's a floor scrubber. Okay. So moved.
Second.
Banks,
aye.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Yes.
to get a motion to authorize the promotion of a JFS employee, to fiscal officer. So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Pharaoh,
yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes. Farm Bureau would like to renew their lease on the property that they are leasing at Longview. And they're leasing it at $10.87 a square foot. And they would like to rent it, and I think we'd like to rent it at that for a year lease.
The same they have been paying.
Same rate.
So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Pharaoh,
yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Okay. Now we have a public hearing for the Marion Port Authority bond for the community, Buckeye Community Schools. That will be at 10:30, so we will recess.
Al,
Al, you got any questions?
Yeah, the fiscal officer appointment, was that a vacant position and who was appointed?
Yes, it was a vacant position and the lady being promoted is Valerie Norris. And she will start that position February 15th. And according to our pay grade, she'll start at the minimum of the pay grade 9.
Okay, is this the position where the person, the previous person resigned because the job was too much for
Well,
them, or?
No, this goes, we haven't replaced the physical officer for.
There
No,
was a promotion, Al, so this is backfilling a promotion.
You mean backfilling a position because of the promotion?
Yes, this position came open because that individual took a promotion within the department.
How long has this been open?
well, this Toby moved up and then what we replacing.
couple months?
Couple months.
Yeah, just a couple months.
Okay. All right, remind me again, you know, when you had that, shoot, I don't know how to describe it, but you know, when all those people left, when was it, October of 22, and you restructured some of the JFS. Remind me how the fiscal position was restructured.
Well, we promoted Toby from whatever the assistant at that time. I don't remember whether she was.
Through the shuffling of the positions, Al, you know, obviously we had, let's see here, 1, 2, I would say 2 positions within JFS come open. So that created vacancies. So eventually Toby Borders replaced one of those vacancies, okay, that she's now holding. She's the fiscal director, which was previously held by Carmen Torrance, okay?
That previously called business administrator.
Right, that was a business administrator. There were some position changes. And now this is the position Toby held before she got promoted.
Okay. Or what is the difference between the business administrator and fiscal officer?
Business administrator, which is now
We don't.
the fiscal director, okay? There's a little bit of a tweak in the position, but the business administrator was basically the fiscal director. This was the position that was underneath the business administrator, now fiscal director.
Really wasn't a difference, Al. It was a title change.
Yeah, we just changed it. It's not much of a job change, Al.
Duties of the
Okay.
position were essentially the same, Al. It's just the revised code specifically speaks of a fiscal director, so we wanted to align those duties with a statutorily defined position title.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you.
So it is now 9:50. Anything else, gentlemen? Stand adjourned until 10:30. Stand in recess, I'm sorry.
Great sheets.
You can all have a seat. And the Richland County Board of Commissioners are back in session. We've been joined by a group of people that we're going to meet with and discuss a bond situation. So if would all four of you introduce yourselves, please?
Allison Binkley, Squire Patent Box, counsel to the county.
Ben Quito, Ice Miller, bond counsel to Buckeye Community Schools.
Brian McGorian, bond counsel.
Steve Vanderhoff, Principal of Operations for Buckeye.
Thank you. And Allison, you want to start off or do you?
We have to recess
Yeah, public hearing.
That's right.
public
Sorry
hearing.
about that. It is 10:31 and the Board of Commissioners will stand in recess. And now we will have a public hearing for Buckeye through Marion Port Authority. And my understanding is Buckeye School is looking through you and we have to prove this before they can
Yes, that's right. So the federal tax code requires that a notice of a public hearing be given and a public hearing be held to give the public an opportunity to give comments for or against the financing of any project before tax exempt bonds can be applied to that project. After the public hearing is held, then there's a requirement that the highest elected official of the jurisdiction in which the project is located, which is you all as the commissioners of the county, give approval of the project so that it can be financed on a tax exempt basis. So this is that public hearing. I don't think there are any members of the public here to speak for or against, but.
We do have a representative from the Mansfield News Journal online.
Okay, great.
Casey has questions.
When we adjourn the public hearing, I'll actually just have a couple questions for informational purposes.
Absolutely. Happy to take them. With there being nobody here, I think we can close.
Could you just review the issuance and?
Oh, yes, happy to.
So that that's in the public hearing.
Sure. So this public hearing is with respect to the proposed execution and delivery by the Marion Port Authority of tax exempt and taxable bonds, of which a tax exempt portion will be limited to 15 million not to exceed amount, one or more series. The proceeds from the sale will be loaned to a limited liability company of which New Leaf Organization is the sole member and will be applied to finance or refinance the acquisition, construction, improvement, and equipping of certain land and community school educational facilities located at 356 and 366 West Center Street in Marion, as well as located at 1404 Park Avenue West, Mansfield, Ohio, 44906. Will also fund capitalized interest on the bonds if deemed necessary or desirable, a debt service reserve fund for the bonds, and certain costs of issuance of the bonds. Not to exceed 6 million of the proceeds of the bonds will be allocable to the Marion facility, and not to exceed 9 million of the proceeds of the bonds will be allocable to the Mansfield facility.
As our advisor, do you have any questions, comments?
I mean, I've reviewed the documents, I reviewed the notice, the resolution. As Ben said, this is really to satisfy requirements of the Internal Revenue Code, so the county doesn't have any liability here. The bonds that will be issued by the Marion Port will be repaid with revenues of the school that they pay the debt service on the bonds to the Port Authority.
Well, I have a question. Steve, so
Yes.
9 of the 15 million is coming to you, right? Or you represent both Marion and Mansfield?
I'm just the Principal of Operations on the day-to-day side. Of Fremont, we just opened a school in Fremont.
Okay.
London, Ohio, Marion and Mansfield.
So what's the money going to be used for?
The financial guys probably know more about that. It's the purchase of the buildings.
Yes, so in Mansfield, it is the purchase of a building which was just renovated. So the renovations were completed in the fall. And
The one on Park Avenue West?
yes, that's right. And so the 9 million not to exceed amount, that amount is almost all allocable to purchase price of the facility. The actual bond amount will come in a little bit lower.
Purchase and renovation or just purchase the building?
So it's purchasing the building, which has appreciated in value because of the renovations.
And we turn now to and
Say the time.
Yeah, just
Close the public hearing.
yeah, it's 10:36. We'll close the public hearing at this time. 10:36, and we'll go back in on the commissioners meeting. So
Just a quick question. We'd like to put this on the record. There's no financial obligation on behalf of the Richland County taxpayers, correct? In terms of the
Correct.
county government. We just read that on the record. We haven't borrowed money since what? When we do the phone, Stacy? 2018,
19.
19? We have not borrowed 1 cent since. So that's something this office doesn't like to do. So we just wanted to get that on the record that this, by approving this, we wouldn't be incurring debt on behalf of the Richland County taxpayers.
That's correct. And it's stated in both the notice and the resolution that you'll approve.
I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
hang on. Al, you have any questions? We'll be with you.
Yeah, I have a number of them. First of all, Ben, what is your name? Ben, last
It's
name
Ben Kito, Kitto.
and your title?
I'm a partner at Ice Miller.
And that is what, a financial advisory service?
We're a law firm.
Okay. Hang on, I've got to get a piece of reference here real quick. Phone doesn't want to keep it up. I am not familiar with Buckeye Community Schools. Can somebody tell me what it is?
Steve, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, Steve Vanderhoff, I'm the principal of operations. Buckeye is a dropout prevention credit recovery school. We serve ages 14 to 22. We are a community school. And serving, if you think about the state of Ohio, I look at it as Ohio has about an 85 to 86 graduation rate, average graduation rate. And our job is to capture those students that have either dropped out or are at risk of dropping out. Our kids are credit deficient, they're economically disadvantaged. We have teen parents. It's a credit flex model. We're currently serving approximately 550 students in Mansfield and the surrounding areas. We work closely with the Mansfield City Schools. The Superintendent Jefferson has been to our school. So we're really in a position to work together to serve the best interests of kids. We offer, we're primarily focused on career readiness. We have career tech programs approved by the state in construction, automotive. We have an STNA program. We have what we call a Rise Up program, which is focused on customer service and retail, 12-point credential. Really, to talk about the renovations, you come see us, it's not going to look like a traditional school. Our students get one-on-one attention. We make it very inviting. We make it non-traditional because for whatever reason, and I always say it's a lot of times it's their fault, but the school in a traditional setting sometimes doesn't work for some students. So again, we just really like to invite any of you guys to come in. And I think Tony, you said you're coming tomorrow.
I am.
To meet with our vice principal, Eric Bacher. So in each of our schools, we have a dedicated staff of licensed teachers that work with our students. Meet them where they're at, establish a pretty good rapport relationship with them, knowing that the circumstances and the barriers that got in their way, our job is to help remove those barriers. We have a lot of support in the community. I know in Marion, that's where I'm from. We're serving almost 700 students, busting at the seams. There's a definite need. We opened in the fall of COVID. So when I look at the notes of all the students that enroll with us, anxiety, being bullied, depression, all these things, we have on-site school psychologists and support really just to, again, meet them where they're at and help them to earn that tier 1 high school diploma along with.
All right, how do you spell your last name?
Vanderhoff. HOFF.
Just one F. Okay, now is
Two
Buckeye,
Fs.
Two F, Al, two Fs.
oh, two Fs, okay. I did have it spelled right. So basically you're a private school then?
No, we're public.
Okay,
It's a
Um,
community.
school.
Community school. Public community school.
okay, where is the facility that's being renovated?
1404 Park Avenue West.
You know what used to be in that building?
Yeah, bowling alley.
That's what I kind of,
Right next to where Park Lanes used to be, Al.
Yeah,
next to it.
Yes.
it's a wide open concept. We call it our learning center. So again, I just would.
And immediately to the east is Mansfield Buick GMC.
Right. It's out towards Home Road, correct?
Yeah.
Looking out that way, if that's giving you some geographic reference, Al.
Yeah, that does. Okay, why the Marion Port Authority?
So Marion has a port authority, which is an active issuer of bonds. As Tony mentioned, the county does very little debt issuance. And so with there being two projects for efficiency purposes, we worked through the Marion Port to issue bonds for both, rather than doing two separate issuances and two separate processes to, one, minimize the burden on both counties, and to minimize the cost to Buckeye so that they can put most of their money into educating the kids that Steve spoke to.
So you're going through Marion because one of the projects is in Marion.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And this is a total of 15 million.
Not to exceed. We believe it will come in lower than that.
And what are you doing in Marion?
Marion is also an acquisition of a facility. The facility is currently under construction and currently under renovation and expansion. So there is more of an improvement component to that building rather than purchasing the renovated facility here. But similar concept, making that building better suited to the career technical education aspect. There is currently sort of the school facility, the one-on-one educational component is already built in there, and they're expanding beyond that part of the footprint of the building to finish some unfinished spaces so that they can add more of the technical component.
Okay, one thing I don't understand is you said the Mansfield building has already been renovated. How did you finance that without the bonds?
The landlord financed that renovation and is essentially selling the renovated building. So it was not our choice of how to finance that, but it is Buckeye's choice to purchase the facility once renovated, rather than having the building essentially sold out from under them and having to find a new space.
Okay, now,
Al?
yeah,
This is Andrew. I picked up on, one of your questions regarding the public school or private school. And I think I sensed a little bit of surprise when Steve said it was public. I actually want to ask Steve, what is the primary source of revenue for Buckeye Community School?
State funding. It's similar to a traditional, but we do not have the ability for property taxes or anything like that, local. It's all
Directly from the state, from Ohio?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Steve, I want to get out there too. I for 12 years, I was a vocational educator, so I have great appreciation for what.
We're implementing the driver's ed program. We're just doing a lot of different things to try to.
now, when you say the building was renovated, was it renovated for school purposes or just updated like HVAC and things like that?
So a combination of both. They built out some spaces that are specific to the technical education that's being provided there, and also, updated the building generally to bring it kind of more modern.
Okay, I think that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Al. Anyone else have any Okay, hearing no further business at 10:45, we'll stand adjourned.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.